So how's it going, motherfuckers? I thought I'd give my 2 cents here on the Mega Man 30th anniversary live stream announcement. Mega Man 11 is coming out, and I'm a fan of this game series. God damn, I mean, I'm looking at all the videos here on YouTube, the live reactions. How did people even click on these videos is what I want to say. I have so many pet peeves here on YouTube. So many of these generic carbon copy videos of everybody else, but these thumbnails of people with the shocked looking look on their face, Macaulay Culkin style Home Alone, both hands on, both cheeks, just like almost with their mouth parted open. Such a generic looking, stereotypical surprised look, like the cookie cutter stock surprised look on their face, and this constitutes a reaction video. I can't even understand why anybody would even want to bother with such a goofy looking video. But anyway, I'm going to give you my own take on this. So, Mega Man was said to be dead and buried. Some spin-off games. We had Mighty Number 9, which was garbage. I never played it, but watched reviews on it. It's not appealing. I don't want to play it. So I probably never will. So, what was it now? About 7 years ago, they actually it was even later than that. It was actually 8 years ago since they've released Mega Man 9 and 10. And they released that on the Xbox Arcade and the PlayStation Network and on WiiWare. And it's been a long time, so when we had this spiritual successor nonsense, and guys, I don't think I've heard enough videos on this, but spiritual successors just piss me the fuck off. Like the one that they had for Banjo-Kazooie, like with that gecko-looking, that iguana-looking creature. The name of it slips my mind at the moment, but I cannot believe that we have to live in a world where we have to have spiritual successors and the company is still putting this. I mean, it's nonsensical. Just release the actual series. Don't give a spiritual successor, because all that game is, Yooka-Laylee. There we go. Yooka-Laylee, the spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie. There aren't too many people who would not like to see a Banjo-Kazooie follow-up to Nuts and Bolts, especially when Nuts and Bolts isn't exactly what we were looking for. We wanted something more in the vein of Banjo-Tooie and the original Banjo-Kazooie. We wanted our collectathon. We wanted our platforming collectathon in an open 3D world where you go level to level with puzzle pieces and everything of the like when it comes to the Banjo-Kazooie universe. It was something to be able to build your own vehicle and all that, but I'm not going to get into that right now. Basically, Yooka-Laylee was just an excuse to not do a new Banjo-Kazooie game, but to instead just do a game that was sort of like Banjo-Kazooie, that really, when you played it, you wanted Banjo-Kazooie, but it wasn't just there. And so why couldn't it just be Banjo-Kazooie? And that was the same thing like Mighty Number 9. There's so many references. Oh, let's call this doctor Dr. White, but he's not exactly the canon Dr. White from the Mega Man series. So it has to be like all these different copies of people, all these different copies of series where, it takes a page from this. I don't want to take a page. You could take that page and put it in the goddamn paper shredder. I want the actual series. Give me the actual series! Stop with this spiritual successor nonsense. Ooh, spiritual. I'm going to go see a medium, a fortune teller. No spiritual nonsense. No, none of this crap. Just give me the actual series. So that's what Capcom has finally decided to do, whatever it's been, the 8 or 9 years later, almost a decade later. We're finally getting Mega Man 11. And people are complaining. Oh my god, I hate the internet so much, and I hate gamers here on the internet. How the hell is your first reaction if you're a Mega Man fan, a fan of the Mega Man series, a fan of classic Capcom before they went off the deep end. Um, with their shady big business practices and how they're handling Marvel versus Capcom Infinite. I mean, you got to be kidding me. I hate the way how they're doing the fighting games now. But anyway, so they have decided to release this game, and fans have decided to react accordingly. How, in a contemporary sense, as they normally do here on the internet, and that is by complaining their fucking asses off. Now, Brad, you know that you complain a great deal here on this channel about many different topics. But the fact of the matter is, when there's something that comes along that you've been waiting for a long time, this would be like, for me, if Earthworm Jim returned. And my first reaction is like, oh, well, this isn't exactly how I thought the levels would look. I mean, it would just be like, I would just be happy to have the game. I would just be happy that it's finally seeing the light of day, especially when we initially thought that maybe we might not see another Mega Man game for a lot longer length of time than, what it actually turned out being, because we're actually getting one at the end of next year. So it's going to be released late 2018. That seems like quite a long way off for, a game that I'm really not too sure how far into development this is, but it seemed like nobody really knew about it. Because Mega Man wasn't even really something that anybody was talking about. Like I said, we all thought that this was pretty much a series that was dead and buried, and especially after the spiritual successor came along and completely destroyed all our hopes and dreams with Mighty Number 9. We really didn't think that we were going to get much else from this series. We thought we were going to have to kind of just move on, maybe play as Mega Man and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And so that's not the case. But people are complaining and saying that this is a 2.5 2D game, a 2.5 game, whatever. So basically, it's got that illusion that it's 3D, but it's really not. It's cel-shaded. It's a cel-shaded platform. It's 2D side-scrolling. But, it's got that little bit of an allure that it's sort of in 3D, but it's not that big of a deal. Look, most people are saying that they wanted it to be the 8-bit. If I had a decision, I agree. I'm not that big of a fan of the cel-shaded look. Hey, look, take a look at Sonic 4. Take a look at Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania looks a lot better in the classic art style of the Genesis games than it did Sonic 4 with that sort of 2.5 look to it. So I agree with those fans. But the thing is here, this is not the time for complaining, people. This is the time for celebration. You wasted not even a day. I mean, I don't know when the live stream initially aired. I'm going to look that up probably after I do this video. But, I got excited. I had to make the video right away after watching the footage. So I think that this was probably the initial reaction of a lot of fans. Why is it not the way I want it to be? Because it can't be the way you want it to be, because you're not the one making the game. See, that's the thing how it is. They are the game developers. They develop the game, and you're the gamer. You play it. And, if you don't like the game, then that's fine. You play it and you have a bad experience with it, and you're not a fan of the game, and you hate the game, and you have, valid complaints about it. And, I mean, this is a valid complaint. I'm not a big fan of the 2.5 style either. Like I said, I'd rather just have a traditional 2D look, just kind of, if it was up to me, I'd say style this like Mega Man 7. Make it look like the Super Nintendo game, or make it look like Mega Man 8 for the PlayStation 1. I mean, I think that would be a nice, updated, polished look to the game without having to resort to the 2.5 gimmick. I'm not really too sure if it's so much a gimmick as it is just it's an art style. It's a valid art style. It's not one of my favorites, but hey, it's Mega Man 11. we're getting a new Mega Man game. That's pretty much all I care about. So I'm not really too sure what all the complaining is about. I mean, like I said, can we just at least for 1 minute stop, take a look at this game and say, wow, I'm appreciative that we're getting a new Mega Man game. But of course, many Mega Man fans, just like a lot of other gamers of every series, are always going to be like that. They're always going to, have a very unusually high standard for games. And, like nothing could beat the past ever. Nothing could be better than the past. And hey, when it comes to nostalgia, I love nostalgia. Like I said, nothing could ever beat the 16-bit era for me. That will probably forever be my favorite time in gaming. But there's a lot of times where, we're not very accepting of new things. We have to realize that times have changed. There's a different audience. They're not going to always keep catering to the people, who were born in the 80s and grew up in the 90s like myself. They're not going to do that. I mean, there's a bigger target audience. They're giving us this new Mega Man game, but we have to understand that soon we're going to go away forever. And there's going to be, a new set of gamers. Video games are not going anywhere. They're going to be existing probably for, as long as the planet is fucking here. But we're not, the ones that love the 16 and the 8-bit era, we're not going to be here forever. So, we can't expect these games to always be the way how we want them to be and fit our nostalgic preferences. That's just not how it's going to be. And we have to accept that. So we should just be happy that we're getting a new Mega Man game, that we're getting our nostalgia, that we're getting our nostalgic series. And, and just kind of step away from the complaining for a minute. Let the game actually come out. Let's see how it comes out. It might be one of the best Mega Man games of all time. We won't know until we actually play it, guys. So that's all I'm saying. Just keep an open mind. We can't always keep shutting down every single new thing that comes out. Like I said, you wanted a new Mega Man game. You wanted new nostalgic games to come out, right? Well, here it is. And you're complaining about it. So maybe we should just seem appreciative and not always take these game developers for granted. We've seen time and time again, especially with the current business practices of the video game industry, they don't have to give a shit because they make money doing their dirty practices. Take a look at, Battlefront 2. Take a look at, whatever you got, Battle for Middle-earth. These games are, selling pretty high numbers, and they're not exactly giving a shit about doing things for the gamer. They're interested in making money. So it's nice that even though people bash Capcom so much, they're still giving us a gift, a great gift, in the form of Mega Man 11. Anyway, guys, that's all I got to say for right now. Until next time.